All right, and we should be live. So, welcome back. I'm just gonna message my Discord. And so today, I am going to be kind of taking a step back, I think, with regard to the implementation of this resume because I was sort of overthinking it, I think, quite a bit, and I wanna do an implementation that might be a little less advanced. Yo, Abdu, how's it going? Welcome in. Um, yeah, the implementation last time was getting a little too advanced, and I didn't really like the solution. Well, it wasn't anyone's fault or anything. I just wasn't huge on the solution that was derived last stream as I was thinking about it, and that's no disrespect to anybody that was helping me in chat or offering suggestions. But yeah, I've been thinking about it. So I'm gonna do a more verbose implementation, but I think ultimately it's gonna save us headache and keep the learning going. Um, so yeah. Um, Yeah, I'm still working on the CV generator, Abdu. I don't know if you were here for that, but I'm just kind of going through this introduction just because it's kind of important. So what I did is I saved my old implementation and rebased and branched. So yesterday, when I took the day off, I started working on this new implementation of the resume builder. Okay, so you can add your name in your email and your phone number, all these things, right? And it updates the data here. But what I'm trying to do is, or at least what my initial thought was to store the, and I should probably start the timer. My initial thought was to store the state inside of the individual section. So I have a general info section, and then like an education experience section. And then I got some buttons to add more and stuff like this, right? And you can also delete education experience sections, right? However, the one issue that I realized going into this was if I have the state stored in the individual components because of the re-render, if I add in for, like, let's say I add another educational experience and then I call this like school 2 and then I call this one school 1, right? But I want to delete school 1, school 2 is going to lose its data because even if it keeps the same key, it's going to lose the data because the context is re-rendered, or not the context, sorry, the component is re-rendered, right? So if I delete school 1, you're going to see that school 2 is the information inside of it's deleted, even though it keeps the same ID, right? So basically, I think my first task for today is to refactor my code to store the data inside of the resume parent container, or component, I should say. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm gonna do. The other thing I have going for this too is I have a save and edit feature where if I save it, it renders the data as just like text, where if I edit, then it brings the inputs back, right? So anyway, that's what I'm working on. And I think I'm going to go kind of more my own way when it comes to implementation. I'm still open to suggestions. What am I using for persistence, whether parent or child component? So I was trying to use the child component unstructured, but I think it makes more sense. I was talking about refactoring into the parent. This is I should mention, this is an entirely front-end project. This is not meant to be any sort of full stack application or anything like this. This is mostly meant for learning front end specifically. So I'm not integrating with any sort of database or anything like that. I don't want to publish this anywhere. It's just for my own learning, right? So there's no data saving necessarily, but for persistence, yeah, I think I'm going to refactor to the parent component because I was running into some issues with the persistence in the child component, at least as far as my understanding. So I think it actually makes more sense to pass the state down to the children through props. I know you can use context, but I don't think I can have more than one context inside of a component, unless I'm wrong on that. But I'm going to kind of just do it the way that... then you'll want to use IndexedDB. I'll look into that after unstructured. I'll look into that after, but I think I'm just going to give a shot. I'm going to use like just state and stuff like that. Is this React? Most frameworks have stores. It is React, but I'm just, this is like literally, like for context, this is literally my first React project, so I'm not trying to get overwhelmed. And I think the last couple of streams I was a little bit overwhelmed with chat giving me recommendations, so I think I'm going to kind of just do this, you know, the way that I think makes sense for my current stage. But I am open to that. That is good to know that most frameworks do have local storage and stuff like that. It's mostly, for me, it's less about the storage and more about just getting the functionality working, right? So I think the ticket here is to factor out the state from the individual sections and then into the parent. So that's going to be my kind of goal for the next little bit here. And I'm going to do that with this general section because there's not multiple of the general section, right? So I'm just going to think about how to do this. So I need to pass this. I need to get this general data interface exported. Actually, I'm probably going to put that inside of maybe like a new file, resume interfaces.ts or something. And then I might do these inside of here just so I have them in a centralized location. And then I'm gonna, instead of using state, I'll probably pass down as a prop. Yeah, I know I'll lose state on reload unstructured. It's not about that necessarily. Like on refresh, I know that. Yeah, that's fair on structure. Yeah. So I'm not concerned about losing data on browser refresh. At least at this point in the project, I'm just trying to get the functionality working. Okay, so I'm gonna put these interfaces inside of this folder, or this file, I mean, just because I think that makes sense. So for reference, there's gonna be three general sections to this resume. There's gonna be general info, educational experiences, which you can have multiple of, and practical experiences. But I'm gonna wait till I can implement the educational experience, because implementing the practical experience is gonna be very similar. Again, there's gonna be repetition, and it's not going to be generalized, but at this point, for the scope of this project, I don't really care about the hyper optimization, right? Because again, this isn't like going to be a project that's going into prod or anything like that. This is just for learning. So you know, that's kind of that, I guess. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to pass these. I want to store the state of the sections inside of this parent resume component. Yeah, unstructured. Exactly. As I was saying, I was kind of, the last live stream I did, I think there were some folks in chat, and they were being very helpful, don't get me wrong, but there were some folks in chat that were a lot more advanced than me, and I was kind of taking their advice, but it kind of confused me a lot, so I took a step back and am rewriting this project, kind of, because I want to come at it from a perspective that I understand fully. But I appreciate that, yeah. Okay, so like, let's do this general section. Let's just focus on this general section right now. So we have this, and then the other thing is this is editing. Toggle is a context that's passed down from the resume parent as well. Because that's pretty easy. It's just a Boolean. It's just either is editing is true or false, right? And that just changes whether there's inputs or like just rendered text. Okay. So, the first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to need to come up with some sort of data structure to save the data. So I'm going to do probably a state within the resume. So I'll say general data, and then set general data, use state, and then I'll probably just generate a default template. I'm going to do as general, or wait, resume, general data, and then get that import. And then I'll do name as blank, email, blank, phone number, blank. And these are all strings, right? Okay, so then we got this. I'm not going to worry about the education section at this point. And then we need to pass this data to our general function as props. So we need to do general data and set general. Because again, I could use context here, but I don't know if I can because I'll have multiple contexts and I don't really understand context nesting. Okay, so let's see. So we've got these props coming in here. And then I need to pass those actually into this, right? So I need to do general data and then, oh wait, I need to double bracket this. General data and then set general data. Parsing error expected. I just delete this guy. And that shouldn't. What is the problem here? Oh, sorry, it's value, I think, isn't it? Is it value? Wait, hold on. I forget this. Hold on. Is it value? Yeah. Oh no, it's just I need to define those here, I think, right? Let's see. Avatar, person, size, and then using that avatar. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So I'll just do data, or I'll do, let's call it data. Wait, hold on. Let me think about this for a second. Person, name, image ID, person, size. Oh, it's size equal. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm done. Okay, I've got it. Sorry. It's like this. And then just set general data to set general. Oops. That's what it is. Right. I remember now. Okay, good. And I don't need a key for this guy because it's just one, right? So that's fine. Okay, and then I get the data in here, and then that should be fine. The only thing is I need to get an updater, which calls set general data. So this actually should work. Maybe. But then I need to stringify. I'll do the stringification up here. Right, because the general data state lives in the parent now. So this should work. Yes. And of course it's not going to persist on reload, but that's okay. So now we've got the general data extracted into the parent and then passed as props. So we didn't really have to do much. That's good. Okay, so now we have to do the education part, right? So first, when we were initializing the education lists, we need to add a new education experience, we need to add to this list a new object. So we need to say new key. So then we need to add a key to the, or no, actually, I think we could just do it like this. New key, yeah. So we generate a new key, and then we return. We're not going to store a list of keys anymore. This is going to store a list of objects that contain the education data, right? So a list of objects that are with this interface, right? So to do that, I need to, so I've got the education data list, maybe. data list, education data. Dot filter. Okay, so I need to change the logic inside of a couple of these functions, I think, as well. So this guy is going to take in, it's going to take in 3. So it's going to take in a key. Well, actually, we don't even need to pass it the key. We just need the education data or info. Wait, what did I call it? Yeah, education data set. Right, so we'll pass that in. It's going to break things, but it's fine. So we need to pass that in here. So we need to say education data is education data. Or right, actually, no, because we need to map based on the object, right? And the object has the key. So it'll be a list of objects. Okay, so we need to actually iterate over the objects by the key, right? I don't use React, so no clue, but I wonder if a person just makes the state for each component or service whose job it's only to set and store state like what you're doing. So education, let me see. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Again, because some of these things are not, some of these things are lists and some of them aren't. Like, right, like the general data, you only need to put in, like if you're generating a CV or a resume, right, you're only putting in the data for one person because it's just one resume. So you don't need multiple names listed and stuff like that. But yeah. I think it is wise, though, to have the state all exist within this one file because then it's all kind of in the same spot. Because I don't know. You can watch the VOD from last stream, but the solution that I had was kind of... it was very modular in the sense that I could add anything I wanted to, but it got overly complicated. And I was starting to lose the plot a little bit and being too heavily reliant on chat. And I think what I want to do with these streams is kind of strike a balance between me doing my own thing versus chat giving me suggestions. I don't know if you're new here, Unstructured. I don't know if I recognize your name, but yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure this all out. Exactly. Again, this one resume component will be bloated. I understand that, but at least I'm going to understand it, right? Like I could probably consolidate some of the information outside of this one component, and maybe I could refactor it in the future. But again, I think the important thing about learning is to kind of just make the thing work. And then once the thing works, you can worry about optimization later, right? I think what I've been doing lately is, and this is on me completely, is I've been too honed in on optimization right off the bat. But that's just me personally. And, you know, again, as I say, like everyone in chat has been nothing but like super respectful and helpful on my learning journey. But anyway, sorry, I digress. Okay, so where was I? So this is going to be broken for a second, right? Because these add and delete functions aren't going to work. Because, okay, so to add a new object, we need to, so we have our previous list, okay, so that's fine. And then we need to put the new object in here. So we can say new, we can actually make it a constant. So new education experience is a new object that is as resume education data, right? And then we can say, what are the fields for that? School name, program name, yeah. So we can just like copy this, I think. Pretty much, right? And then we can set this to be new education experience. However, I don't know if I add the key like here, if I did like new key and then like this maybe or something. Or no, how was this structured before? Or is it like this? No. forget how this worked. Does this all need to be in brackets too? No, there's a way of doing this. Because I want the key to ideally be... But I could just store the key inside of the object too. That's the other option. I think I could do that too. I could say key is new key. But then I need to add a key to the schema here. So I just need to do a key as a string. Right? Then that should fix that. Get rid of this. And then, okay, this should be fixed, right? Why is it not fixed? Oh, because there's no comma here. Right, okay. Hello, Snookered. How's it going? Yep, the faster you can break something, the quicker you can fix and learn. Exactly. And if it's, you know, that's, it helps when I'm the one mostly writing the code as well. But I hope you're doing well, Snookered. I don't know if you're new to this stream, but if you are, welcome in. Teaching myself React for the first time. This is my first ever React project, so you know, you can feel free to roast me if you want. Okay, so we have these now. So this add should work, and then delete. We need to filter by. Okay, so we filter by the object. So we'll do ed. We'll say ed, and then we have to do ed.key is not equal to key. Right, so that should remove it. You're trying to learn CSS right now? There's so much to CSS, dude. And once I get finished with this functionality, I'm going to be doing a lot of styling for this as well. How far along in CSS are you, my friend? Okay, so we don't need the use state in here anymore. I think this should like almost work. The only thing is we need to add so education data is education data, or no, be ed experience or something, right? We'll just call it that. I think that's a better name for it. And then we can put that key is edexp.key, and then, whoops. And then education data is edexp, I guess. And then set education data is this function. Or no. Or is it just this? Set education data list. So I need to figure out how to do that. Because we need to modify this guy, right? So set education data. And then we need to only modify, so we probably actually need to do some sort of call to, we need to figure out how the setting's going to work. You can barely do anything. Don't worry, don't worry, Snookered. Like, you'll get there, my friend. If you practice, you know, like I've been doing, this is day 64. Like I've been putting in the work for like 3 months nearly on this. It's literally just getting in your daily reps. Like I use the Odin Project to learn. The Odin Project has a great curriculum for CSS that I recommend personally. So if you want to take advantage of that, you can. But you know, there's other ones out there. Like I've got a list of them here. So I've got like, where is it? You can do, there's free code camp. I don't have it listed here, but there's another one called Scrimba, which is a paid service, which allows you to, if it loads for me, I don't know. I guess it's a little slow here tonight. Okay. Sorry, the connection is a little bit slow. Okay. Anyway, sorry. There's this Scrimba platform that you can use. It has different paths. You can do like full stack developer path, back end developer, front end developer, stuff like this. It's got lessons in there. But if you want something that kind of holds your hand more, I would totally recommend doing free code camp, where it kind of gives you like, oh wait, no, I'm not going to do that. It kind of gives you like very specific lessons, right? So if I go to the CSS section and I want to learn like grid or something like that. Like it gives you a very, very specific instructions, right? Scrim is good, but you're not paying. Fair enough. Then use free code camp. Free code camp's great. I don't use it personally because I like the flexibility that Odin gives me, but you can totally do you can do it however you like. There's so many resources out there these days, right? And you can even use AI to help you learn if you're careful with it. I personally don't like doing that, but that's just my opinion or my preference, I should say. But you can use AI to learn if you are careful. Okay, let's see. Okay, so yeah, we need to figure out how to do this thing. So we need to do edexp. That should be fine. And the other thing we need to do, yeah, set education data. I need to come up with some sort of function for that. For this set education data thing. I wonder if I put that inside of this map function. If I define that function. Because I probably need to filter it by key, right? That's actually what I can do. I can filter it by key. So I think set education data is, so if we modify, so I need to make a new function here. Const modify or modify education experience data or something. That's really verbose. Or change. And then we pass in a key. We give it a key, right? Oops. Okay. So then when we give it a key, we can search for that key, right? So we can say education data list dot for each edexp, and then if edexp dot key equals key, then we do the update, right? Oh, and then I need the data, of course, right? That's the other thing, I guess. Okay, let me take my 5-minute break and think about how I'm actually going to implement this before I get too ahead of myself. Because I need to actually, like, for this, update education data, right? Because then it needs to take in, I need to tell it which attribute to modify within that sub object, I guess, right? So that's another thing we're gonna have to consider with that, I think. So. Anyway, I hope you guys have had a good evening or day so far. I guess it depends on where you are in the world. Can think about uniqueness of key for different access since you're passing from parent. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing to get that. But the idea here is so within this list, right? Where's the list? Within this list, the idea is that I'm gonna want to modify individual attributes of that object, and then the education experience, because you're gonna have multiple schools, right? Will have its own, so we need to attach which attributes being modified based on maybe this update handler, right? That's where that's happening. So I need to think about a way to, because right now this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work because it's a list of we're storing education data in a list, right? So we have to go through the list and find the key that matches and then update the value accordingly. So I'm going to need some sort of parent key and then attribute name. So this parent key here, and then which the naming's a little confusing, but and then a value, right? Which is going to be the, where is it? It's within the it's within the input. It's handled within the input right here. Yo, sup, J-Mac? How's it going? I hope you're well, my friend. We're just still chugging away on React here. It's a little bit, I got a little bit too deep in the weeds 2 days ago. So I'm kind of refactoring, restarting and refactoring this resume builder project. So yeah, just thinking about how to modify individual object entries in a list. So that's kind of, you know, the current task at hand, I suppose. Is it safe to say React is part of the BenStack now? Yeah, I think so. I think that's safe to say, innovation. Good, I should be grinding on C++ right now for your interview, but I think I'm cooked. Oh no, how come? C++ is hard. I know C, like a little bit of C, but C++, like I didn't even fucking... I haven't done C++ before. Maybe someday I'll learn it, but I am just focusing on the stuff that might get me employed. For right now, I know, okay, React, will it get me employed? Probably not, but the fundamentals that I'm building up here with front-end design, hopefully, will get me something. I don't know. Who knows? C++ is pretty wild. Yeah. It is pretty wild. Rust is even more wild, in my opinion. Like, the 3 levels of backend, like, systems programming, it's like C is, like, the easy, and then C++, and then, like, Rust is, like, the final boss. Actually, no, the final boss is, like, something like Haskell. Or, like, some stupid, like, functional programming language. I hate functional programming. We actually had to do a bit of functional programming in my degree, and it sucked. I did not like functional programming. Like, I know, like, the math people really like it. They love, like, the purists love functional programming, but it didn't make sense to me. Or at least it was very unintuitive. Very unintuitive. It's like, yeah, okay, it's stateless, but it makes your life so much more difficult when you want to do anything quickly. I don't know. Like function purity and all this, right? So, all right. So let's get back to this here. I'm only going to do 5 Pomos tonight. I've been pushing it lately, but I can feel myself burning out a little bit, so I'm not going to push to the envelope tonight. Okay, so we get the key, right? So we find the key, and then once we find the key, we need to figure out what actual we need to actually modify the object, right? I think Rust is actually easier than C++ because it's less convoluted. Really? I just know they ask LeetCode hards. Might be buns. Oh, shit. I can do LeetCode mediums, but not hards. Yeah, low-level stuff is harder by default. Exactly. But you know what? You guys shouldn't discount front-end too much, because if you look at 2 days ago, the last VOD, I was in deep. Like, I was so fucked. Like, I had no idea what was going on. Like I was being helped by a very friendly person in chat, but I was like, I think I was relying on them too heavily. And I was like, Jesus, like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, I just had to, like, take a step back, and I was like, geez, this is ridiculous. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to pass in not just the key. So we want the ed key, right? So the educational experience key, which is like the key to the actual element within the list. And then we want the attribute key as a string. And then we want the value as also a string, right? Okay, so now when we find the right object, right? Otherwise we return null, I think, or something. Or just return or whatever. I don't even think we need this, to be fair. Anyway, I could throw an error or something here. Like, could throw error here. or something like that. Like if it can't be found. Front end is hard in its own way. I have huge respect for people who are so good at React. Yeah, it's tough. I do too. Now that I'm like into React, like into the weeds, it's like, fuck, like there's so much to learn. Like I'm working with, the only hooks I know right now are use state and use context for reference. I'm still learning, right? So it's like, it's a lot of new stuff. But I will say, learning vanilla JS and building that battleship project, as difficult as that was, really prepared me for React. Like it really did the job. So what I need to do now is I need to reconstruct new modified updated edexp equals and then we do like a ... edexp and then atter key, and then I think I can do value, right? And then once we get this updated edexp here, then we add that to the set education data list, prev list, and then we do return ... prev list. Oh, but this might append it in the wrong spot. So I need to return the whole... Actually, I think I could just modify the individual... I think I could just index it or something. I could find the actual matching key or something like that. So I could do prev list, and then I could find the key. If it's an array, because I don't think I need to change the entire array, right? I hate doing front end. I'm happy to do React, but I'll never learn a lot of front end library from it. Yeah, that's fair, JMac. I get that. I totally feel that building things without all the bells and whistles. I said red balls, Jesus. I actually might increase this chat size on my end here a little bit, just so I can read this better. Without all the bells and whistles really primes you for learning. I had that experience with C. Yeah, I get that. Exactly. That it does help, definitely. And also just knowing generally how to code too is helpful. Like I had that coming into this whole YouTube channel, right? Is I knew how to code at a basic level. Okay, so I need to figure out how to modify the individual key here. Or just the value that has the key. So I need to do that. Because it's not indexable by set education data list, prev lists. And then I could do like another for each loop, but that's kind of gross. Yo, how's it going, Tyler? Welcome, welcome. I'm completely rewriting what I did 2 days ago, because I kind of said this earlier, but I'm rewriting it because the way that I was doing it 2 days ago with like the help of Gervier was just like, I was like, what the hell? Like I didn't understand what the fuck was going on, but I was trying to like, accept his help and kind of see what he had to offer and stuff, but I was like sleeping on it, and I was like, yeah, this is like this is too convoluted. So I'm doing I was results oriented. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of got a little carried away on that one. And that's fully I own that. I own that. But anyway, so I'm trying to do this completely, not completely alone, but pretty much alone. I'm just trying to think about now. Okay, so I have this previous list, but could I not update just the key? So I need to get the key. But this isn't, I have to iterate through and then find the key, I think. But then that's still like what this is. So if edexp.key, let's see, I forgot how to do this. Find. At first it's about results, then it's about control. Yeah, I think again, like I just kind of got carried away. But you know, it is what it is. I also wanted to, you know, he was a new viewer, so I wanted to give him a chance to kind of shine if he wanted to, but I think I need to, and you learn this through doing streaming, right? Is I need to strike, I think, a better balance between accepting help from people and doing things on my own. Exactly. It is part of the journey. And like, again, I'm new to doing this YouTube stuff, right? So it's just like trying to find that balance and what kind of makes sense versus what doesn't, right? And you only learn through trial and error. And also admitting when you're maybe a little off base or you got carried away or something, I think is important. Especially with, you know, or like even like if you have a failure, like, you know, I was looking through, I wasn't watching his stream, but like Bridge, like I was looking, he showed like how his MRR went down. I'm like, see, that's good. You know, he's showing that he isn't always up, right? It's not like, he's not like selling like a complete farce, right? Exactly. That's kind of what I'm doing too. This is kind of like, I would consider this like a brute force method. Okay, so what was I going to look for? Finding index of list element based on key or something like this. Oh, there's a dot find index. Okay, so I can do a dot map. But I don't want to like do a nested dot map. That feels ugly. I feel like there's a better way of doing it. Because I already do a map here. Oh, you know what actually I could do? No. This is better. I can nest this inside of, this is what I can do. I can nest the set inside of this. Or I can nest this inside of the set, I mean, sorry. So I can do set education data lists and then prev list, and then I can map over that in here. And then I can do prev list dot for each edx, but then if edx dot key is this, and then I generate that, and then and then I need to get the index somehow. I think I can do with for each. I think I can get the index through a for each loop, right? Yo, hello Jay, how's it going? Welcome. Okay, so I need to get the, I think for each, I think there's a way to get the, you can just do the index, right? I just forget the exact syntax here. Function, count entry, name, index. Yeah, so I can get the index. Index, I think. Array value index. Yeah, I could have just fucking read, actually. Okay, so then we get this, and then we get this, and then we say, do I actually need to return stuff from? No, I don't think so. Oh, I do, okay. Return dot prev list. Okay, so when I'm updating I'm going to try and figure this out. When I'm updating a list, what's it called? When I'm updating a list, a state that's a list, do I just need to update the one index? Or do I need to update the whole list? React, does the whole list. Updating list with state. Updating arrays and state. Yeah, here we go. Adding, removing, replacing. Okay, so you can do this. You can do assign. Oh, no, never mind. No, dot map. Yeah, concat. Replacing map example. Let's see. Return C. Oh, okay, so then I can actually do a dot map over this. That's actually what we want to do. And then otherwise just return edX, and then return, actually I can just return this. This is an easier way of doing this. Return that. And I don't even need the index. Okay, I think that makes sense. Why are we getting errors here? Set education data list, prev list. Oh, because I guess it doesn't know what type this is, right? I guess that's true. Maybe it needs to know the type of this guy. I also wonder if I even need this arrow function here, or if I can just do it like this. And then I think I can just, wait, so this is this. Oh, and then it needs another closing bracket. I actually think this might work. Right? Maybe. Key, yeah. So then it returns. So basically what this is doing is we're mapping over the education data list, which is, again, state that's stored inside of the higher level resume, right? And then if the key matches, so if we're changing the key that we want, right, which is known by the resume education component, then we return the new object with the attribute key changed to the new value. Otherwise, we just return itself. So then just nothing happens. So I think this works to change one attribute's value in one object dependent on key for the education list, education experience list, right? Change education data. Sure, I'll just call it that. That's a little easier. And then so I need to pass that down as a prop, right? Because that's how I'm doing this. Again, just to reiterate for people that just joined or joined fairly recently, what was I going to say? I could use, I was thinking of using a context that's just passed to all of the different children. Sorry, that's not the right one. All of the different children sections, like the general section, the education section, or component rather. However, it didn't really, I don't know. It's not, I could do it that way, but it just makes more sense in my head to do it through props, at least as a beginner. Maybe, you know, there's several different better ways of going about what I'm doing, but this is the way that's kind of made sense to me after kind of taking some time, like taking a step back from 2 days ago and kind of thinking about it and kind of getting overzealous, I suppose, right? A little carried away. So, okay, so then we have this change education data, and we want to put this into here. However, we need to, when we update education data, it's going to take in the key and the string. Okay, so how do we know what the key and the, I just need to refresh my own memory on this. So the parent key, the label name. Ah, yes, it's done through this way. All right. On input change. And then that's done in the input, and then that gets passed to as a prop to the input. And then update education data is this. So the key value pair gets paired there, and then I need to call set education data with the new. So set education data. Actually, this isn't the right. Yeah, change education data. So I need to give it the key. Which actually is in education data. So it's education data dot key and then key and value, right? I think that's right. It's a little weird, but I think that works. Maybe. Don't quote me on that. Okay, so we have our delete button here, which should still work. And then we have our add as well. So now this like theoretically should work, but it's probably not going to work right off the hop. So this still works. Good. Am I still rendering the? I still want to render the education data list. Yeah. So I'll add an education experience here. Yeah, I'm actually going to remove this as well because I don't need it to be rendered twice. Okay, and then so when I add, so here's our key. Okay, and then it's got the school name, program name. So when we add the school name, it targets the right thing. And then if I add another education experience, then, okay, so this is, I don't know how to actually make that like formatted. JSON.stringify. Hold on. Just need to look up the docs for this guy. JSON.stringify replacer function that alters the behavior of the stringification process. Null 2. I appreciate that. Okay, sounds good. So wait, I just want to know what this is. Yeah, okay. So we don't need this replacer function. Because that would modify the behavior, right? I think. So just like this, right? Could fix the... Oh, but it's still adding... unless it didn't re-render or something. Oh, I changed it to the wrong fucking thing. Sorry, my bad. That's my bad. That's my bad. Here it is. That's it. There we go. Okay, that's better. Okay, so we got our two things here. So we modify this one. It modifies the right one. Now, the moment of truth. If we have this as like school 2 and then school 1, and then we like put in like a GPA, whatever it is, but then we delete this, this should persist, right? Okay, so it's not deleting. So our delete function broke. That's okay. We got our adding working, right? Okay, so that's okay. So our delete function broke, but that's good though. We're making progress. Okay, so the delete education experience set education data list filter at expo key is not equal to key. The other thing I could do is because I need to pass in the key, right? That's why. So if I add a couple. So we'll do school 1, and then school 2. And if we delete school 1, yeah, school 2 persists. Perfect. Okay. Now we're in business. Okay, so I think we've got this behavior all set. So if I do like school 4, and then I do school 3, and then I delete school, and then I like give some stuff to school 3, whatever, right? Doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. And then I delete school 3. Now it's just school 2 and school 4. Awesome. All right, and they've got their own keys, and they've got everything. Nice. So now we just need to do the exact same thing with the, what's it called? We need to do the exact same thing with the practical experience section. now that we've got the educational experience section working. And the other thing too is, so if we add multiple of these, like we do school 4, and then we do, let's say computer science, BSc, then we do like, I don't know. I hate this date selector. So I'll do my dates for this, right? So I'll do, I started in September 2023, and then I ended in June of 2025, and then my GPA was like 3.8 or something. And then like my other school, I don't know, like 8 or something. Biology, BSc. And then I started that one in like 2018, September. And then I graduated in 23, June. And my GPA there was like 3.9. And then if I put in my name, Ben, email, ben@example.com, phone number, I'll do 000. And then BenStack.com or something. Okay. And then we save it. We should see all of our, well, it's rendered as text now, right? Rather than the inputs. So the inputs all go away, and that's through this shared resume context state, right? The only thing I don't think it matters to keep the delete buttons, even if it's rendered as, maybe it does, I don't know. We can change that though. We could add or remove these delete buttons depending on the mode that it's in, right? So if we save, so we can actually add that little part in now. That's pretty easy. So where was the button added? So that right here. So I can say if is editing, then we return the button, right? And I think, does this need to be like a like, 'cause this isn't a function, right? So I'm just trying to think about how to conditionally add something here. Oh, this is what I do. This is done. I do this above, right? So I do if I do if is editing here. Oh, actually, you know what I can do? Const delete button equals, and then we can just set the JSX, right? We'll say equals, is there a way to set a variable to a fragment? Let me just do that and then I'll take the break. Set variable to fragment, React. Got an A2. Maybe not, now that I think about it. Oh, you wrap it in brackets like this. Okay, I see. Return, there's a fragment component you can import. You could also do this, I think. Fragment component, oh, is that, okay, wait, let's see. Is this not the fragment? Fragment component, fragment. Was this not what it was here? I mean a prop? No, I mean, so basically what I want to do, Jay, is I want to have the delete button conditionally render based on whether the mode of the resume is in editing mode or not, right? Fragment instance, no. Wrap elements in fragment to group them together and situate, okay, so hold on. So I think I could just do, can I just do this? Wait, hold on, can I just do this? And then I can insert the stuff in here, like this. I think I can just do this. Actually, no, I don't even need that. I can just do this. Right? Does that work? Maybe. And then I could say, and I could say is editing, question mark, and then otherwise just like nothing, right? And then I can do del button here. But then how would I insert that? Oh, I see. Oops. Like this? Is this a thing that works, maybe? Let's see. Yeah. Cool. Got rid of the buttons. Nice. Cool. That's kind of what I wanted. I wanted to have a fragment as a variable. Like store some JSX in a variable. You put null instead of the empty fragment. Good suggestion. I appreciate that. Thank you for your thank you for that. I appreciate that. I guess null just renders as nothing, right? As well. Maybe. Yeah. Cool. And I could do the same with beat me to that. Fair enough. And I could do the same with this guy, right? Now, I think instead we can actually wrap. We can do this. We can do is editing. I can just do it like. Fuck. Actually, that's not right. I need to. Maybe I put that like up here or something. Maybe I'll put like a button section over here, like conditional buttons, and then here I'll do mutate state functions, right? And then so I'll put this guy here. Actually, I'm gonna need the 2 breaks because actually no, I'm not, because I'm gonna add the practical experience, right? I'm coding on the break again. Oh, how dare I? Okay, I'll slow down here. I'll take 3 minutes here. I got ahead of myself. You know, it's one of those days, I guess. I don't know if any of you in chat are baseball fans, but I was watching, you know, being Canadian, of course I'm a Blue Jays fan. I watched them get beaten by the Brewers again, which was unfortunate. I kind of had the TV on while I was finishing up work this afternoon. So that was a sad. I waited 8 innings just for them to give up another run. Anyway, whatever. So that was basically my afternoon. And it's miserable weather here too, so couldn't really get outside. Milwaukee, yeah, Milwaukee Brewers. And they're like not supposed to be good right now either. I mean, I'm not a big baseball fan or anything, but I kind of got really deep into it when the Blue Jays made their World Series run. So I've only seen one ball game in my entire life. It was in the 90s at Sky Dome, and they played Milwaukee. Damn. The one game, it's funny you mentioned that, Tyler, because the one game I've ever been to in the Rogers Center was also Milwaukee. It was last year, like pre-playoffs. I went to a Milwaukee game, and we got beaten, like we got blown out. It was terrible. That was in like September, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it was really hot. I remember it was very hot weather, and yeah, this was literally last September. around the time of the CNE. I think it was when the CNE was happening. Maybe? I don't know. Anyway. CNE is something else. I've been there a couple times too. But, you know. The CNE, the Expo? Yeah, the Expo. The one with where they do the snowbirds and stuff, like the planes. Yeah. And I'm very jealous that, I don't know, because I was talking to my dad, because my dad's like 30 years older than me, right? So he was my age when the Jays won back-to-back World Series. Well, he was maybe a little younger than me, but he was like in his 20s when the Jays won back-to-back World Series, and he remembers that very, very well. Got to sit in Elvis's pink Cadillac. That's cool. Yeah. I went as a few times as a kid too. We do the we also did the Science Center too, which is sad that it's been closed because that Science Center was like goated. I love that place. But anyway, there's a lot of, Toronto things, I guess. Riding the TTC by myself, stuff like this. I don't know why my parents let me do that, by the way. But I was like probably like 10. 92, 93 they won? Yeah, it was 92, 93. It was back to back. Oh, are you a Canadians fan, Tyler? Because my family is unfortunately a Maple Leafs. I mean, I don't really watch hockey that much, but my dad loves the Maple Leafs. Fuck, like I can't even, you know what I mean? Anyway, if you know, you know, I guess. Okay, so let's say const add edX button equals this is editing question mark, or wait, actually no, this. If I had to be a hockey fan, it'd be Montreal. Fair enough. I totally respect that. Used to love Patrick Roy. See that? I don't recognize that name. I do not recognize that name, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know. He's a goalie from the 90s. Oh, okay. See, I'm new gen. I'm like Carey Price. Like I know Carey Price was like a big deal, right? That makes me new gen. I don't know. I could also, to clean this up, I could also put this. Nah, actually, I'll leave it in here. It needs to get this context. Yeah, Price is good. Yeah, he was good. Him and Crosby. Golden goal year. Or was Carey Price, when they were in Vancouver, was Carey Price the goalie in 2010? Because that was the first sports moment I remember in my life. Was I was 9 years old when Crosby got the golden goal in Vancouver. And I remember my parents were out of town, and my grandparents were babysitting us. And I remember, like, they're foreign. Like, my grandparents are immigrants from Portugal, so they don't understand hockey at all. And they were like, they had no idea what was happening, but I was locked in. And I vividly remember sitting in my, like, the living room of our old house. Yeah. It was great times. Anyway. Okay, so this is good. So this now should conditionally render. Very good. And then now we just need to add, there's one thing we need to add as well. We basically need to copy this guy, but for the resume text area, I think. And the way that I implemented this input is very, very similar to how I did it in the previous iteration of this project. I just kind of lifted and shifted a lot of stuff for this, at least. So I'm going to create a new file, resume text area. And again, if I had to do this for a lot of different inputs, like, or like text area, or like different fields like checkbox and stuff, I might come up with a better system. So text area, it's going to want parent key, label name, update handler, and then it's props, right? So the props are going to be text area, right? And then I'm going to input those. Import resume text area, right? And then so the label and then text area, and then it's not on change, right? Oh, because this needs to be text area. That's why. Update handler, label name, and this should basically be all the same. And again, this is a lot of repetition, I suppose, but you know, it makes more sense in my head to do it this way, because again, the project scope is small, and I don't know, this is my first freaking React project, so this is fine, because again, yeah, that's good. And I might refactor it after, right? I can always refactor it. Okay, so we have that, and then now we need to create the resume practical experience. Actually, I might create the data for that first inside of here. So general data, and then const practical data list set practical data lists is use state as well. Seems fairly in depth for a first timer, but you're killing it. I appreciate that, Tyler. Well, and you know what? I have, it's not just, it's not all me. Like, it's also credit to the chat too. Like, anyone in chat who's like helped me out along the way, like, honestly, huge kudos to each and every one of you. You know who you are. So it's not just me. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. So, okay, so let's get over to this. We got this what do I want to do? Oh yeah, I need to add mutate state functions. I need to basically do exactly the same, these exact same functions. Again, it's a lot of repetition, right? So for this practical experience, data, whatever, I'm going to be creating other functions in that are basically replications of these, but it's just two sections. It's just two sections. It's not a huge deal. And for the ease of readability and the ease of implementation, it's not, I see it as a worthy trade-off. Oh yeah, we need to make the type, right? Or the interface. So let's do the interface. Export interface resume practical data. So we need a key. And then we need the company name. And then the job title. And then start, or job start, job end, and job description. Right? I think that's what we had from before. I'm pretty sure. I might even just say like employer name maybe, or company name. Say employer name to be more general. And then this is going to be very similar too. So we could probably copy paste this guy, right? Because again, new file. So say resume practical .tsx. Resume context. We need the resume context. So resume practical. And practical data, and set practical data. Is editing, that's fine. Update practical data. Set practical data. And then practical data dot key. And then of course we need to export the right thing. Right. And then this is just going to be update practical for all these. So I'll do a control F here. Where did the control F go? Right. And then this is employer name, name of employer maybe. And then education data. Practical. And then employer name. And again, verbose here, but I'm kind of helps me visualize what's happening in each and every input, right? Job title. Update. Yeah, so that's the same. Job title. Job start. Job end. And the other thing too is like, I mean, I worked a little bit on this yesterday, but like I implemented, like when I worked on this yesterday, I only spent like an hour getting the basic rewrite working. So like all said and done, combined between what I've done on stream and what I did yesterday, I've only like, it's only taken me like 2 and a bit hours to get back to basically where we were before. And I kind of like that. At least, I don't know. I find it good. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna need a different input here. So we're gonna need the resume text area, right? Parent key is job description. Label name is and update handler is updates. And then value is practical data dot job description. And then rows or row. Wait. Columns? Wait a second. Why isn't that auto-completing? Text area. Input HTML attributes. Oh, because it's the wrong type. There it is. Forgot to rename this. Of course. That's why. So now this should say rows, right? It should anyway. Row. Property rows does not exist on text area element. Text area props. Input HTML attributes. Oh, it's rows. Yeah, I don't know why. How did I learn React? Am I studying a specific course? Yeah, I'm studying the Odin Project, Wasim. So I'm doing the first project, the CV application generator. So basically it's just a CV builder that you can like, so I can put in my information here, right? And then I can like save it, and then it renders it out, and then I can edit it again, right? So just basic stuff like that, right? And I haven't done any styling yet or whatever, so it's also not persistent, so it doesn't store anywhere, at least yet. I'm not implementing that. Practical data lists, yes. Resume practical, yeah. So this is weird. I don't know why this isn't working. Okay, so first of all, we need to fix this. So this is name of employer. Job title. Job start. Job end, and then job description. Title, job start, and description. Yeah, I don't know why the autocomplete is not working for this. Label, HTML4 parent key, wait, is there ID stored? Yeah, so it's still the same ID link thing. Got the props here. Is there anything that I'm missing from the label? No. This is a text area. React.change event area. e.target.value. I assume that's still right. And the update handler is the correct one. Resume text area inputs. Yeah, I don't know. So let's just see what it renders. I'm just gonna leave it for right now. We need these again. Basically. Oops. What do I call it? Employer name. Is TSX good or JSX? Do you recommend learning React with TSX? Well, that's what I'm doing, Wasim, because I like the type safety. Like, for example, I have these interfaces defined for my different sections. So an education section on your resume has school name, program start, program end, GPA, stuff like these, right? And I kind of like having this organization. And is my type safety perfect? Probably not. But, you know, I'm learning, and I think it's good to learn because I think it's relevant for employment as well. I think a lot of jobs these days require, or at least recommend, that you have those skills as resume. And then this isn't imported, right? Oh, that's probably why. Oh no, never mind. Resume, education. Change, practical. Okay, so this should be fine. Repeat new practical. Okay, and then change practical data. And set practical. And then I'll do practical. Need the right key as well. Then I need to do a very similar guy here, I think. I think I got everything in here. And then I need another add button here, right? Oh, and then an add practical experience. Need to do that button here. Why are these indented? Oh no, they're fine because it's within the resume, right? And then I just need to put that button at the bottom of this. Add practical experience button, and that should be good. I think that's it. For that. Okay, so then we can add multiple practical experiences. Cool. Oh wait. So, oh, that's interesting. When I update it, it like refreshes the entire page. Hold on, that is a problem. Does that still happen with education? No. There's probably something going on with the keys, I would suspect. Update practical data, set practical data dot key value. Update handler on change. Is parent. So update practical data, update handler, which is this guy. Parent key. And then e.target.value. Heyo, vibe code diary, how's it going? I feel like if you like vibe coding, this isn't the place for you because this is the opposite of vibe coding. Well, I mean, if I'm vibe coding insofar as I am vibing and coding, then I suppose that counts. But just fair warning, I don't use AI for anything. So in case that's not your speed or not your preference, then you know, you don't have to stick around. I just based on your name, I'm just making an assumption. Create, man, I used to do traditional coding. Fair enough, fair enough. I just want to learn vibe code. Like, I want to learn, you know, half for my own enjoyment and half so that when I do integrate AI technology, I can properly do code reviews and understand what the hell's going on. Because I feel like a lot of people kind of just, you know, start vibe coding and they let the computer do everything. And I don't trust the AI that much or enough to do things without me understanding how it's doing things. You still do traditional coding when AI makes mistakes? Yeah, exactly. I want to get to that point. That's my goal. I want to get to that point. In the future, ideally. So, yup. No, I think there's a lot of people out there that, you know, it's not even that they're vibe coding. I just think that they use AI appropriately, right? Where like, yeah, like when the AI makes mistakes, like still going in there and fixing stuff, right? Versus like just, I think all I'll say is that the one thing with vibe coding that I don't agree with is letting AI fix its own mistakes, because I feel like that can lead you down bad rabbit holes. What language am I building in? I'm building React with TypeScript currently, and I will say, Diary, that I am a complete beginner in React. Screen is kind of blurry for you. I apologize. Are you on mobile? Because if you're on mobile, that might be why. Yeah, no, I'm using React and TSX, and I'm learning for the first time. So, you know, I'm not building anything to sell or to, you know, I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm not trying to make any sort of product. I'm just doing this purely for the love of the game and learning how to build things from scratch. So, because, you know, that's the only way you can actually get to a point where you could build like software for people, right, is to actually practice. So that's kind of what I'm doing. You love React? Nice. I wish all vibe coders had your positive attitude. Because I was kind of worried initially, because I was like, oh, because I've had a couple people come into the stream where they kind of like impose they're like, oh bro, you're cooked for like trying to learn blah 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 blah. And have I heard of Next.js? I have. Oh, do you want me to? I can increase the text size. It should be. I should be streaming to 1440p. Let me. Here, I'll increase the text size. There we go. There, that should be a little better. When I was doing it earlier today, I had it set lower just so that it wasn't so big for me. But I apologize on that part. But anyway, yeah, as I was saying, I don't know, I've had some people come in here and kind of say like, oh bro, you're screwed, you should never learn how to code, like AI is just going to replace everything. Like, yes, but that's not a helpful take, at least for where I'm concerned. It's not helpful, and it's also kind of, I've said this on stream before, it's also kind of just not what I'm about, right? Like, I'm not, you can hold that opinion, but that's, I disagree. And that's not what the deal of this, I guess, live stream is, the purpose. You don't have to, I just changed my laptop. Oh, well, it's no worries. I'll leave it up there just in case anyone else is finding it blurry vibe code. Maybe I'll meet you in the middle. I'll do like a size 17 or something. Yeah, it's weird because I should be streaming to 1440p, but maybe the stream bitrate isn't good. It says I have an excellent stream health. So I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So we need to figure out why the now I just don't know why this is when I add a practical experience. So I delete. Ooh, that was weird behavior. What the hell? Delete practical experience. You started traditional coding at the age of 9? Jesus. That's way before me. I mean, I started playing around in like Scratch and like Game Maker when I was like 11 or 12, but like I didn't actually code real code until I was 22. So like 3 years ago. But that even then it wasn't like I didn't actually start building web projects until literally this year. So I'm brand new to this. I have a strange feeling something's going on within here. Delete practical experience. Ah, that's probably the problem. Wait, actually. Oh, never mind, no it isn't. That's why. I got it. That's the reason. Okay. Your phone wasn't on Wi-Fi? Yeah, that's fair. Okay, now this works. Okay. I just didn't update it properly. Sick. And then we can add another one, and then blah, 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 and then I can render it, and then it saves. Cool. And then I can edit again, and then I can add an educational experience, add another one, and then I can save all of this, and then it'll render everything out. Cool. So now I can get rid of these guys, right? Oops, that's the one. It's showing the data. Now that I can trust what it contains. Right, so there's our rendered out resume. So obviously this isn't styled in any sort of way, but I think now it does functionally work. So like I could refresh. The other thing is it's not persistent too. So I could do like, let's just do you're 25? Oh, okay, you're the same age as me, vibe code. Started coding at 9, building websites for my parents' businesses at the time. I loved it, never looked back. Fair enough. You got started way, way, way soon. You got started, like, yeah. You're 25, yeah. So, like, 16 years ago? Yeah. No. When I was your age, when I was 9, I was addicted to Pokemon. and I did not give a shit about computers at that age. I did not care. So you know, everyone starts at a different point, right? I cared about video games. I liked video games, but you know, everyone starts at a different spot. So let's say school A, program name is computer science. Let's say I'll do the dates I started. Oh, wait, not June. Sorry, September to June of that year, and then I got a GPA of 3.8. And then I'll add another one, and then I'll do school B. (2018) September, and then 2023 June. I'm filling in my actual educational experience, obviously, without putting in the school names. IT place. Am I using Tailwind or traditional CSS? Traditional CSS for now. Diary. I do plan on using Tailwind eventually. I just I'm still learning traditional CSS because I will say, and like if you go back onto my streams too, I spent the first 50, almost like 60 days learning with just regular vanilla JavaScript, or TypeScript, I should say. I was using TypeScript, but learning that vanilla TypeScript and building a few projects with it really helped me for React. So I'm hoping that using traditional CSS will help me understand these CSS frameworks better and better, right? Anyway, okay, so job title, IT analyst. I started my job last year in May, and then I have no end date. IT stuff and things. And if I save it, then there's my resume. Renders out to HTML. So that's pretty good. That's, you know, obviously it needs styling, but functionally, I think it works. So, cool. Although I want to get rid of this one, just that colon. Hey, just want to know whether you completed the 30 days vanilla JS. 30 days vanilla JS. I don't know. I mean, I didn't do vanilla JS right off the hop, Saish. Or sorry, I did, but I switched to TypeScript pretty quickly after that. Or did you? Or was the 30 days vanilla JS something else? Is it like a challenge or something? Because if so, I can't say I did that. I've just kind of been following the Odin project. Okay, so this is good. I think we can probably make a commit here, right? And the other thing too is, again, this isn't for, you know, this isn't getting pushed to any sort of production or anything like that. So I don't really super care about the commit messages. Actually, I want to see first what my log is looking like. Right, okay. Git add, and then we'll do git commit. Something like that. In the foundation course, they had mentioned 2 problems with that, so I just wanted to know whether TOP had mentioned it in the JavaScript lesson. I don't know. Is there a thing for that? Let me see. All paths. Was it in here somewhere? No. I don't know where that would have been mentioned, Saish. Object basics? Oh, okay, bet. So that would be in here, I think. Or wait, no, actually, would it be in here? Was there object in here? Did we do objects? Yeah, we did, okay. 30. Oh, here it is. More practice with objects inside arrays. Fork and clone Westboss JavaScript 30 repository. Oh. I did not do this. I did not do this, no. I could, though. Wouldn't hurt, I guess, as like a refresher. But no, I have not done this. So how recently was this updated? Okay, so last year. So it's still fairly recent, I guess. Am I live on Twitch as well? So Musa, I tried to dual stream a couple months ago, but my internet can't handle it, so I am not, unfortunately. And I'm live on YouTube just because that's where the larger audience is. But I'm moving shortly to a new apartment, hopefully within the next month, so I will retry dual streaming when I'm in the new place to see if that works out. So, because I do want to dual stream ideally. I would like to. But anyway. Yeah, exactly. I want to, you know, reach an audience. Because again, yeah, I know the viewing experience is better on Twitch as opposed to YouTube, or I should at the very least say the chatting experience. The YouTube chat client is garbage. However, I installed an extension on mine to kind of show, I don't know, it's called like hyper chat or something like that. It just kind of makes renders faster and stuff like that. I think actually I can change show profile icons. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Cool. All right. You've started learning JavaScript, but I find myself spending more time building projects with HTML and CSS because I really enjoy them. That's fair enough, Abdu. There's a lot of good stuff in that. Learning HTML and CSS, like having that design, like love for design is really good stuff. Whether you intend to start learning JS, I end up just creating something else with HTML and CSS. Fair enough. That's, you know, to each their own, my friend. Okay, so I will start now. I think the functionality, other than the print stuff, because I know I was talking with my moderator Jay was in here a few streams ago. He was talking about, as well as Tyler, we were talking about converting the resume form to a printable layout with CSS, right? So and also, I don't know if there's some sort of thing I need to do in React to render it properly for that. But I think it would just be CSS for the most part. So I'm going to worry about that near the end of this project, but I'm going to get started on some styling, I think. But yeah, the functionality of this is as done as I want it. And it's like, okay, the resume parent component is like 146 lines, but that's not like crazy or anything, I don't think. I don't think that's stupid. I think that's a reasonable... Can you show what I built today next break? Absolutely, Abdu. Send it to the stream chat channel as usual. You totally can. I'll take a look at it. So I'm doing 5 Palmos today, so I'm on Palmo 4. I actually probably should get like a little show what Palmo I'm on, like 4 out of whatever, like 3 out of 5, or however many Palmos I want to do that day. Okay, so let's stop, screwing around. Okay, so let's do root, font family. I'll just probably do like the default. Font size, 16 pixels. Good. And then we can do this, padding, 0, margin, 0, border, or sorry, box sizing, border box. There we go. Then I'll do like body maybe. So we want to do like some sort of, you know, center this content, right? So I think we could just flex it. Just like this. And then I think the other thing I need to do as well, at least in here, is I need to add breakpoints in the input and the text area. So I think I need to put a break here. And then put a break here as well. Something like this, right? So that's good. So that's fine. And then I'll do maybe max width is like 50%. So hold on, how's this working here? Oh wait, that's the width of the body. Sorry, my bad. I need everything as the child. So the child container of the body is the div root, right? So I can do max width on the root as 50% or something, right? Then that keeps it centered. So yeah, something like this, right? Okay. So I kind of want to go, I think that's enough for like basic styling. Maybe I could like remove the default button styling or something. Actually, maybe put this below. Border, none. And then background color, white or something. Can I even do background? Or can I do background none? Something like this. There, so that gets rid of the default button styles. But I was gonna do a, so other than this root index CSS, I was gonna do a utility class format per a few viewers' suggestions. So that's what I'm going to do next, I think. So in app.css, so I'll actually, you know what I'll do first is I'll put a new folder styles, and I'll put my styles in here, right? Then of course the imports are going to need to update. Yeah, that's the problem. Import, and main. Good. Of course, we're going to need some education experiences here as well. We've got our resume. We need a break, I think, at some point here. Break. Break. Practical experience. General info. Resume general break. I don't know why this is all clustered up here. Maybe because of the buttons. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so where should we start? Maybe with just the this guy. So what we could do is text, or what should I say? Font size 3. I don't know, fucking 3. Or I should just keep it the way it is. I don't fucking know. How should I go about these utility classes? Or I'll say flex center to start. And then I'll do a resume dot CSS. Then I'll import that guy into here. Import. So then, actually, the utility classes, though, I would want in the main app, would I not? Probably, now that I think about it. So I don't even need, I can just put everything in the app.css. There. And then I think I'll do that with the other headings as well. You're back, so I was thinking, even though you're not vibe coding, you can still utilize a powerful tool. All right, I'm open ears. I'm open ears, diary. Generally, though, I will say I don't like to use AI in my learning, but it's something for sure. Like the floor is open to you. Because I'm intrigued on what you have to say. But you know, it's something that I could maybe add to my arsenal later on, even if I'm not interested right away. So. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so we have the resume. So I need the general. Then we can do our class name here. Is this not going to work though? Oh, maybe not. Oh, because I need to target the individual. Right, that's right. So I need to go into the general and import. That's exactly right, Tyler. That's exactly right. I appreciate that clarification. Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to build a foundation of knowledge so that when I do use AI tools, which is, you know, because they're only going to get better, I'll know what I'm doing. Like for example, you like Diary, Vibe Code Diary, you've been coding for 16 years, buddy. Like you have so much more experience and knowledge than I do. So I feel like you're in a lot better of a position to be using AI than I, because you know what it can and can't do, right? You have that kind of higher level knowledge, or I should even maybe say lower level knowledge. Okay, so where was I going to add these? Right, so here. So I was going to do is there a way though to add default HTML props to a component? Maybe not, actually, now that I think. So I could just wrap this in a div, yeah, so it's not a big deal. Because I might want to do that, actually. I might want to do div class name equals, and then just do dash div here. And I could like style the div itself. So let's see. So we got everything there. I think I'll keep it that way for now. Okay, flex center on that guy. I think I'll do that for the rest of these. I'm just gonna make these, instead of a fragment, I'm gonna make these divs. And resume practical. You're not saying what? Sorry, I completely forgot. I think you might be behind Vibe Code. On stream? I don't know. Maybe you're not, though. I don't know. I forgot what I was saying. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so then this needs to be flex center. And then this needs to be flex center. Okay, good. And then I think we could probably, I don't know why there's like a gap here, actually. Let me look into this. I don't know why there's a gap here. Right, I don't know, I don't understand why there's a gap. There's probably a break in here, right? Yeah, so that break is something. I also probably need to add accessibility to these divs at some point as well. I think I'm going to put that in my notes just a second. I'm going to need to do that. So we did this already. Got that. Edit and save mode. And then add styles, add accessibility features. So I'll add accessibility to this after, I think. All right, last break. Gonna run real fast to the washroom to fill up my water and you know, go to the washroom. So I'll be back in 2 minutes. All right, I'm back. All right, now I'm gonna, before I get started, I'm gonna take a look at Abdu's project, because he asked me very nicely, and I will take a look. Let's get that open here. Apollo 11 mission website. That's very cool. Yeah, dude, this is like, dude, you're killing it with the animations, my friend. This is very cool. You got the crew. I like the hover effect. The only thing that I notice is, and I don't know actually how to fix this off the top of my head, but when I like, so it plays this, it's this animation, right? When I hover over the different astronauts, but then it like kind of snaps back into place, right? Parallax scrolling, true. That would be cool. I totally agree. You know about parallax, Abdu? The other thing too, I like the opacity increase as you scroll down. I like the spinning moon, that's really cool. View the research data here. I believe that takes me somewhere. That's cool. Got the timeline. You've got a top of page button. That's good. Explore. Yeah, this is really great. Spinning Moon is sick. Yeah, I like this. The font looks really consistent. I like the font that you went with. Maybe a little bit more of an animation on this explore button, but like, I mean, that's still pretty good. Yeah, it's just the snapping of the animations. That's the one little piece of feedback I have. But this is like, you're already like basically there, dude. Like, this is awesome. I like these little cards down here, and you've got like the different gradient of color on the border. That's great, man. Oh, animation's not supported in all browsers. Got you, got you. So you're trying to make it accessible, Abdu, is what you're saying. Which is actually fair. It's actually fair to make it accessible. That's totally valid, if that's your reasoning for that. But this is Chrome, so this should be, if there is an animation, it should be working in my browser. I mean, I'm assuming this is an animation, but yeah. Your messages are not showing up? How come, Vibe Code? It could be YouTube chat glitching. Because YouTube chat is weird. But you can join my Discord and send them there as well, in the stream chat channel. Yeah, that was... I just spoke it into existence. Nightbot heard me. There's the Discord. You don't have to join it, but if you want to, it's there for you. And you could send it in my the stream chat. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube is the chat client is garbage, and I apologize, but that's not really, unfortunately, something I can control. But anyway, no, Abdu, I would give you a, like, 99% on this, my friend. This is really great. Like, this is better than, like, I could do, to be honest with you. I don't think I would have the patience, like, for doing something like this, but that's great, man. Like, you could be, like, you could even go into, like, web design if you want to. Like, because there's a difference between, like, web development and web design. If you want, web design's more, like, very front end, like designing interfaces and UI and stuff like that. Like my partner does web design, you know, so that is something that if you're interested in HTML and CSS, that can be something that you go into. From where do I learn? I'm currently learning on the Odin Project, Amish or Amish. Making GUI is awesome. Yeah, it is. See, here's the thing. I like it, but only to a certain extent. Like, there can be such thing as too much UI. Like, seeing, like, the types of projects that my partner has had to complete for her program is, like, that's, like, too nitty-gritty for me. Like, doing, like, UI and UX research and stuff like that, like, that's, like, I don't know. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't have the patience. But, you know, for some folks love it. So, I mean... let me... Alright, I see you in here, Vibe Code. I'll shift between the Discord and the... I've got the Discord and my YouTube chat on different... Am I learning full stack web development? I'm trying to. Try my best. Okay, so let's go back to this. So there was a weird gap here. UI design in C? Good luck. Is that like... Is UI in C like a for funsy thing, or is that like a thing that like has legitimate application? TUI? Yeah, that's fair. I get that. I've actually seen people do TUI apps in Go, Tyler. I don't know if you've seen that, but like I know Go is a good language for doing TUI stuff. At least so I've heard. I'm not sure. Both, honestly. Where is this? I'm assuming it's this break, because if I get rid of this break, I guarantee you that's going to fix it. Where's the resume? Here it is. Yeah, that's okay. So now it's gone. But I don't know why the breaks don't. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Go is like the C is like C in a lot of ways. Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's kind of like sort of what I've heard, to be honest. But it's also kind of like Python in a weird way too. Like kind of, sort of, not really. I don't know. I've seen, at least syntactically, it looks similar superficially to Python. Here, you can read my FAQ here, Amish. I'm 25 though, but I've got an FAQ with a bunch of answers to questions that I commonly get. So you can take a look at that. And also I'll do a Who Am I? It's a little introduction. Okay, so let's go to Discord. I created a website that allows developers to make notes and post updates. Interesting. Okay. I'll check that out, Vibecode. Vibecodediary.com. I'll check that out right at the end of stream, real quick. But I appreciate you sharing. If you want to, I've also got like a projects forum in my Discord that you can share your projects in, so that other people can take a look at it. And my Discord community has over 100 people now, which is fantastic. So you can share it to there and maybe get a couple eyes on it. Just there's some post guidelines, so please follow those. But other than that, like, go for it. You can totally plug your stuff. Okay, so this is good. I need to add styles now. Okay, so I'm like kind of faffing around here. So button. Let's see. So styling the inputs. I need to style the inputs. So maybe we'll make this a div as well. And we'll add styles to this guy. So how do I want to go about this? I wonder. We did like a, I don't know. Might need like a reference or something, because I'm like that bad at doing this. Let's see. Okay, let's like just bring this over here, just so I have some inspiration, because I'm not good at just coming up with stuff off the cuff. Yeah, so we could do something like this, right? Or even like this. I don't know. Or we could eat, yeah. Do I want to put the label on top? Probably on top, right? The other thing too is I need to do mobile. I need to do mobile styles, right? So that's the other thing I have to do. So I'll do, I could honestly probably do mobile styles first, right? I think there was, yeah, I think Jay mentioned that. I remember he said something about doing mobile styles first. So I'll do let's do like a 14 Pro Max or something, and we'll do mobile styles first. So I'll do a media query. Actually, a lot of these are the same as they would be. Oops. Media screen, wait. I just forget this syntax. Width. Media, okay, yeah, it's just this. Width, or I'll do max width is less than, maybe just width. Less than 600. Right? So we'll do something here. So I got to do this like class-based system. Now I need to think about how to do that. Or not class-based, the utility classes. So we have flex center. Maybe do like a margin 1 on this guy. Margin bottom 1. Something like this. Actually, I don't need that. I'll just make these as I go. So I've got the general info, and then I'll add a margin bottom to that as well. Or maybe some padding to it. So I'll do, in the general section, I'll do padding 2 maybe. And then I'll do that for these as well. Practical. And then for the app, I'll do, and maybe I do less padding in the media query one for less than 600 pixels. So padding 2. So that may be too much. Maybe for the body, we can also add some padding or some margin on the top and bottom. So this can be an index.cs, right? CSS. Or margin, I guess. Two around 0 or something. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so 2 REM might not be, that might be too much for the mobile view. So in here I can do like half it or something. Maybe 1.5. I'll add a couple more of these. Padding 1. Padding 3. And again, what I'm trying to do with this approach is to kind of mimic... oh, whoa. Okay, whoa. YouTube chat just spazzed the hell out. Okay. What I'm trying to do with this is to mimic a sort of utility class structure. This would be like similar to Tailwind, right? Okay, so that's fine. We can even just have these, to be real. And then do 1.5 for that, and then we can even do margin bottom 1. And I can do margin bottom 1. Can't imagine how tedious it would have been to do this make a tedious it would have been to make a whatchamacallit, a Tailwind. The other thing I want to do is with this body, I want to do a media in here. Right. So body is a little less margin. Actually, no. Where's the root? Sorry, the root. I'll just do padding 0, or no, margin, sorry, margin. Something like this, right? Max width. Could be, yeah. I think that's the right. Something like this. I don't know if it's being overridden. Oh, that's a little better, right? Body, root. And there's something with flex grow, right? So this doesn't matter. That's not good because it changes the alignment of these. And I add an educational experience, and that's not really what I want. On the side, where's the styles? Here. Oh, it's an ID of root. That's my problem. It's not a fucking class, it's an ID. That's why. There it is. That's what I wanted. Okay. So now it's all centered, but then this content here is not centered within the root. Right. So if this gets big enough, I think I do a laptop. Ooh, okay. Something like this, right? Okay. So now I need to center the content within the root as well. Flex direction column. And then align items. And item center. Okay, that's a little better. Then I want to make these fixed width as well. Yeah, so that's good. There's app.css. Flex center on these divs. Oh, they already have flex center. No, they don't. Flex column. Need to add a flex column. And then I'll say flex direction column. There we go. Good. I have a feeling is the chat not updating again? Or are people just not here? No. That's okay. Maybe they're just not here. That's okay. It is what it is. Hold on. Let me do over here. Test? Yeah, I can see that. I can see that now. Maybe it's just dead. Could just be dead. Very possibly dead. That's okay. I just sometimes sometimes it does break, right? Sometimes it doesn't refresh properly, so I just want to make sure that my client isn't fucked up. But I appreciate that. Okay, got that centered. Okay, then we're gonna need to add. You feel that? Yeah. Have you ever streamed before, Tyler? Actually, I think I need to probably do this like. It's fine. I'll do that in here. Flex center. Flex call. This is all fucked up, but that's fine. Trying to get all this centered, and then I need to do like I need to kind of fill this content, force the width to be 100% on these guys. No, other than Discord to your friends. Oh, I got you. Totally valid, by the way. That's totally understandable. Oh, why? I guess I need to make these fixed width. Maybe, okay, so there's this resume container, and then I have the content. And I wonder if I put all of this stuff in its own div. You've killed streamers in Tarkov? Yeah, nice. Nice. Emmet wrap, and then I'll do a dot. Actually, I don't even need just this. Okay. Flex center. Flex call. There, now it's fixed width. See, now it's all aligned up properly. That's what I wanted. So now this this div here is all fixed, right? And then I'll do padding 1 maybe on this guy. Now I got this going. That's not too bad. Looks good so far. Thank you. I'm just trying to get the layout working, like the general alignment of the elements. Education experience. Oh, this doesn't have. Okay, so I need to add this to have a margin bottom 1, I think, or something, right? There we go. So now there's a little bit of a bottom margin on those, right? And then I think I should probably make the I don't know. The thing that's going to be weird is doing utility functions for or utility selectors for things that aren't layout based, like based on like doing input that way or something. I don't know why this scrolls left and right. It shouldn't. Maybe I could do like how does Tailwind do borders, for example? That was just something I was thinking about this. Oh, I see. So the border, so the number is the width, and then that's the color and the. I don't know what this is. The weight, maybe 600. Okay. I don't know. It's just gonna get really, really verbose, I think. Do I want to like max char this or something? I don't know. Also don't really want these to have colons anymore. I kind of decided that maybe they don't have colons. To do school name, program start, program end. Oh, and then I need to get rid of them here too. I forgot about that. Kind of running low on Steam tonight, I feel like. That's okay. Time's almost up anyway. Oh, this needs to get rid of that. Okay, so now this should render like that. Cool. You feel that too? Yeah, totally fair. All right, I think that's good for tonight. I'll leave it there because I want to kind of make these fixed width and make these look all nice, right? Kind of get some nice input styling, but I feel like I kind of am like logicked out for today. But I think we made a lot of headway. You know, I can add experiences here. And you can delete them, you know, stuff like this. You can add more, you can add practical experiences, and you can save it, and then it all renders nicely, and then we could do some sort of print thingy. Although, wait, why does it... There's a gap here that I don't like. I don't know why that gap is there. Oh, because there's 2 breaks. Why are there 2 breaks? Where are the breaks coming from? Oh, because of this? Oh, because those aren't being... Oh, geez. These are being rendered. Those breaks are being rendered regardless. I see, that's why. Okay, whatever. We can fix that shit later. 2 breaks? Well, no, because normally, if I'm in edit mode, the 2 breaks put a break between the... Before the add education experience button, and like before this, and then after it, right? So there's a break here and then a break here. At least there should be. Yes. See, like this. However, when I go to render the render it in like the save mode, the breaks don't go away. So I have to fix that. That's just like a minor oversight. But that's not a big deal because that's rendered in the parent resume component, right? Yeah. So there we go. Anyway, yeah, I was gonna take a look at that guy's site. Hold on. Mod logs. Cool. Yeah. So let's check out this vibe code. He's probably not here anymore, but I want to see what he's got cooking. I'm gonna open it on my other monitor just in case it's bad. Because I don't want to accidentally ooh, this is like something. Okay. I don't want to accidentally open something bad. Okay. So he's got the vibe code diary. I kind of like, even if this is AI, I really do like this front end style. I like this font. I like the colors. I like the fact that this is kind of like a looks like a Mac window, like a Mac OS window. However, it's built for vibe coders. And unfortunately, I'm not a vibe coder, so I cannot join this. But this is good. I like the idea of like seeing like track what you prompted, what shipped, what broke. Like this is a good thing. I think this is kind of cool. If this is kind of your prerogative, right? So like the problem with vibe coding, AI lets you ship at 10x speed, but it comes with a cost. Yeah, you forget everything. That's true. You ship then drown. Feature 3 features before launch, but which prompt actually worked? Let's see if let's zoom this guy in a little bit, just so that you can read this. You burn out silently. Yes, I can see that being a thing. It looks vibe coded though. It does. Yeah, it does. But that's part of it, right? You can't have the vibe code diary not be vibe coded. It would be kind of antithetical, wouldn't it? Anyway, so there's nothing wrong with that, I guess, right? I see. I would think though these would be drop downs maybe or something, but they're not. This is all static. It looks like, right? Finish a vibe coding session. 0 variance. Yeah, that's true. I mean, okay. So like if we go to like AI SaaS, let's just look up some AI. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this over on my other monitor just in case anything bad comes up. Because I want to like find one that to like see, like get an example of what I'm talking about, like being vibe coded. Are these templates? What are these? Oh, those are landing page examples. AI SaaS example site or something. Fuck, I don't know. This is like innovative AI technology. I mean, we could just go to our boy. We could go to our boy, but I don't want to expose BridgeMind. But that's like a very good example. But they're all like, yeah, they're kind of the same. Here we go. Okay, this is I think just a template, but it should work. The hell? It's not even loading now on my screen. The fuck? Here we go. What about this one? Does this work? Yes. Okay. This is what I'm talking about. Okay? This is vibe code to me. Right? Like you've got like this header thing, their hero section with these buttons, and then you got some colors. Then usually you got some like testimonies somewhere. And then like a payment, like pricing. Doesn't even work. Like I think this is just a template, in fairness. But like you got these little cards. Like this is exactly like if you've been to like, you know what I'm talking about. Like this is vibe coded, right? Something like this, right? This is a little bit different, but it has a similar blocky aesthetic, I guess, right? So this is not for me, unfortunately. I appreciate Vibe Code Diary for coming in here and being very respectful and not immediately shitting on me for what I'm doing. However, this product is not for me, unfortunately. But, you know, if you're into vibe coding, I mean, you know, I'm giving this guy a free sponsor. I don't really care. I don't make money on YouTube. It doesn't matter to me. Why not just use Notion? After 100, it's 19 a month. See? And I do like this kind of banner at the bottom. It kind of looks like Vim or something like that, right? It looks kind of cool. Anyway, I don't know. But anyway, so, or even this one. Like, what's this guy? Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked now. This is another. Like, see? You've got the cards. You've got the hero section. They're like all super generic, right? Whatever. Again, I think this is just a template, but you know what I'm talking about. But anyway. So, that's going to be it for tonight's stream, I think. We're working on styling. I'm going to add some accessibility as well, like some ARIA annotations and stuff. You know, in the future. By the future, I mean Saturday. I'm taking tomorrow off again. Tomorrow is supposed to be a very, very, very nice day, so I'm going to take it off, enjoy the weather, and you should too if you're in a spot that has good weather. And then I'll be back Saturday afternoon for probably a 6 Pomo stream. get some styling, do some more styling, do some accessibility stuff. And I think we should probably be done the CV thing like within the next stream or two, I would think. We've only got like, we're pretty much there. Like functionally, minus the print, save to print, functionally we're pretty much there. So yeah, thank you all for watching. If you're watching right now and you want to follow me on my journey, I'd really appreciate a subscription. That'd be great. Feel free to join the Discord if you haven't already, to keep updated on the stream schedule and stuff like that, and chat with my community. I've got over 100 members now, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so I'll see you all on Saturday afternoon.